Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Come fly in the magical world of Disney, 6:30 Sunday. The 1991 AFL Premiership season, proudly brought to you by Mitsubishi Motors, BP, Westpac, CUB, McEwen's, SIO and Vulcan Heating.
AFL Today, Melbourne against the West Coast Eagles and Carlton against North Melbourne. The Demons slipped from second spot on the ladder, losing 5 in a row, but stopped the rot last week with a return to form against Sydney. The tearaway leaders, the Eagles, have slipped up only once this season. That was 2 weeks ago at Princes Park. The Blues are back at Princes Park for the 3rd week in a row and are unbeaten in 6 matches there this season. They are just out of the 6 and North a place higher, but the Roos haven't beaten the Blues at Princes Park since 1985. Another vital game in an all-important round of matches. And a very good evening to you all and welcome to AFL Today. 2 top games in tonight's replay. And firstly, we go to Princes Park for the game between North Melbourne and Carlton. They're 6th and 7th on the ladder and nothing separating them apart from North 1 game ahead despite losing last week for the first time in 6 rounds. Carlton had won their last 2 matches, both at Princes Park, and the betting for this game was dead set even, and that's exactly how the game turned out. Up until 3/4 time there was nothing in it, although the Blues made a great start, 7-2 to 1-3 at quarter time. But after that, North Melbourne hit back and got to the front at half-time, and there were just 4 points in it at 3/4 time. The Blues 13-4 to North Melbourne, 11 goals 12. We're going to pick up the action in the final quarter, and commentators today at Princes Park, Peter Landy and Peter McKenna.
The final quarter at Princes Park, and it's Carlton leading by 4 points, but North Melbourne has the breeze in this final stanza. Madden and Gallagher. Been a great battle between those two in the ruck. New ball at the start of each quarter, and it gets kicked out towards the centre wing position. First goal is going to be vital here. Crocker gets ridden into the ground, and he'll take a free kick for in the back.
Oh, he's not hurt again. He's holding his head.
He got on a little bit too high.
So a lot of breaks over his
band breaks, yeah. Took a couple of goals today, Crocker.
Been a good player.
Scholl's going to take the free kick. Had a pop first quarter, Scholl, but came back into it after that. Crocker getting back on his feet, just looking at him through the glasses. He seems to be okay. Pickering applies the tackle on Doon. The ball spills free. Rock, a quick kick out of the pack. Kerner had it Longmire. Carlton will defend desperately here. Bradley looking for the free kick. Clarkson a little bit too slow to try to go for the hand pass, and the umpire says free kick. And it's going Carlton's way. Probably be taken by Bassett, or is it going to be Fritz? And it's going to be Bassett. He gets it away to Phillips. He kicks from a standing start to the half-back line. Marking contest, Crocker in front. They'll sock it out of the pack up towards the centre wing position now. Kernahan and Fairley. Hanna started on the bench today, Mil Hanna. Hasn't really been in the play that much. Magnificent kick down towards full forward. Fotier, Ratton, Larkin applies the tackle. And North Melbourne defenders trying to close it up. When it comes to Wayne Schwartz. Schwartz kicks from his own defensive 50-metre line up towards centre wing and Gallagher.
Yes, beautiful kick that by Schwartz on the left foot. Now Gallagher should kick it as far as he can. He's kicked it straight to a Carlton player. And it's a good mark in that half-back area by the beat. Now he's got Gleeson wide and loose. Adrian Gleeson kicks to the half-forward line off the side of the boot. Oh, good gutsy mark going back to the flight of the ball, and that's Chandler. Good strong mark. North Melbourne kicking the scoring in. They trail by 4 points. First couple of minutes vital. There's Sexton, couldn't take the mark. He's let Allison in. He sprints clear from 40 metres. Brett Allison chips in a goal, and North Melbourne lead by 2 points.
We haven't seen too much of Brett Allison. He spent, as you can see, most of the time on the bench, but North 12-12, 84, leading Carlton 13-4, 82.
And that all started with a very gutsy mark, running back with the flight of the ball by Jeff Chandler. He didn't know what was coming behind him. And, well, they got it out to that half-forward line, and Allison booted clear with pace. And a dirty first quarter, Brett Allison, but the fresh man on the scene.
Back into the centre. Allison's first goal. North Melbourne again in front in this thriller at Princes Park. Now the umpire says play on, and Schwass will do just that. Schwass out of the centre for North Melbourne. Kicks to half forward. Delina gets the front position. Could almost be holding the ball, Carl Delina. Carlton supporters looking for a free kick. Paddled away by Pickering. Scholl. Quick hand pass. Crocker, who seems okay after that heavy knock. Kick down to half forward. Bassett off the hands. Oh, Allison, can he get another one? He'll sock it off the ground and gets it. 2 goals to Allison in the last quarter. A little bit of luck associated with that one, but he put it through. 13-4.
When I buy a van, it has to deliver. And I mean deliver. This Mitsubishi Express does it better than ever. It's got tons of power, loads of space, and all the creature comforts. But at the end of the day, I'm running a business, and I have to make money. That's why I buy Express. Take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. Just tell her that you love her. Make sure you're thinking of her.
BP Visco 2000 Plus, because your car is more than just a machine. BP, on the move.
Take good care. The stage is my life, but only part of the time. The rest I spend with my family and friends. They're the security I need to keep me in the real world, with real values.
Like Normie, we all want real value for money, and SIO's Agreed Value Sum Insured offers exactly that. It can save you thousands. Protect the value of your car with the right insurance.
And the best way to do that is through the SIO. We're here for you, we're family too, we're SIO.
SIO for all your insurance needs.
He's given Australian tennis some of its highest and lowest moments. Pat Cash, putting the pieces together on his life both on and off the court. What's going wrong? Is it the end or can he come back? It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
Next time you receive your fixed-term deposit notice, tell them you found an alternative. IOOF Super Saver 2.
Discuss your options with your advisor or at your IOOF branch now.
Welcome home, Flash. Tough week, eh?
Ah, great.
Hey, leave us some.
Didn't they feed you there?
Only enough health stuff to last until I'm 50.
Well, hopefully I'll have you eating healthy food long before then. Did it?
Mum, when it tastes good, I'll be in it.
Kellogg's Sultana bran. Don't mention it's healthy, and they'll eat it by the boxful.
North Melbourne by 8 points. The big arms of Madden, but straight to Peter German. German a quick kick, but the mark has been taken by Babeek at half-back. They need a steadying goal. Carlton, there's a chance. Fotia on the left foot, hooks it back in front of goal. Dorojic couldn't mark, but races in after it. Fairley's there also. He shuffles it out, Dorojic. But look at the pressure of the North Melbourne players. A wild kick off the ground, back in front of the Carlton goal. This is Chandler racing towards it. Fotia's there also. Larkin kicks it further afield. It's all Carlton players, though. Larkin tries to lay the tackle. Kernahan gets it to Fotia. Fotia to the pocket, but he's put it out on the full, so it'll be a North Melbourne penalty kick to be taken by Mark Roberts.
Sartori stands the mark. He's Carlton's leading goal kicker today with 4. Kick number 11 by Mark Roberts. Gallagher, Kernahan. Two of the Flyers there in the centre of the pack. A quick kick comes out of it up towards centre wing. Scholl and Hanna race for the ball. Minutes, well tackled. Hanna and Rock. And it's going to be a stalemate on the centre wing position. 21 minutes left in the match. With Melbourne leading 13-12 to 13-4. So plenty of time for both sides to try to sew it up. Delina, Scholl, off the ground with a short kick. Pickering, Rennett's tackled well by Crocker. Good desperation from both sides.
Great tackling in that passage of play, Pete, right in front of our commentary box here, so we could see the players really throwing their bodies in.
And Peter Cameron will ball it up right on the centre wing position. Madden taps over the top. It's like a rugby scrum down there at the moment. No one's going anywhere. So he'll do it all again in the centre wing position. And both ruckmen missed that one. So again, he'll ball it up. And maybe Peter McKenna can get it away from the centre wing.
Peter Cameron, the experienced umpire, have to throw it up right on centre wing. Madden, it's been a great ruck, Jules. Madden versus Gallagher. Former Carlton player has tried very, very hard. Chandler sensibly goes to the line, as will Schloss try and do the same, and he eventually forces it over, and that was the sensible thing to do in that situation. Time clock showing 9 minutes and 40 seconds of play left in the final quarter. It's going to be difficult for Carlton. They trail by 8 points. The North really working hard. Here's Sexton kicking it to centre wing, and the mark has been taken by Chandler. Jeff Chandler, hopefully improved player, had a couple of weeks ago had a spell in the reserves. Allison flew. Remember his great mark at the MCG. He tapped it on to German. That's a clever one to Delina. Delina breaks the tackle, sprints in the goal, puts it across the face. Oh, great mark, Longmire, tremendous mark. Well, he was out of position.
He called for it, and then to use one of your phrases, he ducked back and did it well.
Yes, and I don't think that was a pass. I think Delina had a shot at goal, to be quite honest. But he'll claim it as a pass after the game. John Longmire from directly in front has kicked one. He kicks. Oh, it might be across the face. Oh, bad miss.
He's missed a couple today in close.
Although it's not as easy as it looks from the up where we are. You can see in the background, look at those mud patches now. That's the footing the player has to kick from, and it is really, really difficult when you can't get a steady footing.
North Melbourne certainly more opportunities. 13-13 to 13-4. At the sun of his eyes, David Curtahan straight down the ground. At the back, Crocker had to sit. Gleeson off the ground. Curtahan punches clear of Fairley. Steele. Scholl. Over the top, back to Steele. Back to Scholl. Intended for Rock. Sexton to Glascott. Scholl again in there. Quick by Bodier, but Steele, magnificent interception. Kicks the half forward, but the kick in the end ill-directed, and Peter Dean does the tidying up work. Curtahan, David Curtahan's kick to Milhanner in front. Madden palms it out beautifully to Sexton. Sexton's kick up towards the centre wing position. Tried for Curtahan, couldn't find him. Bradley.
Great play by Fairley, that was. Put his body in front and forced the free kick.
Ian Fairley. He's been spectacular himself. He's done a good job down there in defence. This is Brett Ratton from the edge of the centre square. Verbeek in position and marks. Wants to keep it moving quickly if he can. Not this time. Mark Roberts, strong in defence, has taken the mark.
Yes, he looks a much better player too, Mark Roberts, up in the back line. It's a good foil there for Mick Martin. They play a similar style of game. Roberts to Brett Allison. Oh, he went too early. Tried to be a little bit too spectacular. That's Phillips to the pocket. Roberts. Oh, that's a free kick holding him. And he punched it away and then was held. But not paid that time. Unlucky there not to get a free.
Yes,
Roberts.
agreed.
We saw one earlier where Bradley punched away and got a free kick for the same thing. 13-4 to 13-13. Half forward line for Carlton. It's a loose ball. Oh, it's thrown up, was it? Yes, a scoop against Steele. So a chance for the Blues. They trail by 9 points. As Gleeson kicks it up in front of goal. Players pushing and shoving. And it's tapped over the line by Fairley, who has been a great player for North. Not a lot of possessions, but he's had the job on Kernahan and Dorotich, and he's done it well as we see a little bit of a dust-up. Chandler's involved, and Tarzan. He likes a bit of a and dust up Tarzan at times. There's a kick by Kernahan. Up in front, Roberts should sock it off the ground and doesn't. It just bounces before the line in front of the Carlton Social Club.
16 minutes left in the match. Blues need a couple of goals. Kernahan and Fairley. Kernahan at the back. Right for Glasgow. Couldn't find him. Oh, there's got to be a free kick.
That dangerous.
Well, the umpire's played the advantage rule. Reynolds, nearly. Gallagher. Rock. Nearly runs into his teammate, but well done, Anthony Rock, and well shepherded. Rock kicks up towards the centre wing position. No mark paid to Pickering. Umpire calls play on. Staritsky paddles the ball in front of him. And the Blues tied up.
It's funny to hear the crowd appealing for a free kick there. That was terrific play by Gallagher. He threw his hip and his shoulder into the Carlton player, and he wasn't holding, he just held him out with his body, which was tremendous play.
Fotier, a fresh air shot. Reminiscent of some of my performances at Yarra Bend. Not too recently, I hasten to add. Another bounce. 15 minutes left in the match. 13-4, plays 13-13. Scholl tries to kick it off the ground. German not going anywhere. Fotier scoops the ball over the top. David Glascott on the end of that hand pass, kicks into space at half forward. The ball will probably stop when it hits the mud. Socked away by Roberts, and he'll do the same again. The centre of the ground is a lot firmer. Delina and DeRuy. Roberts again. Looking for someone to give it to. You'll have to be quick. Caught with the ball. That is tough.
I thought he was legged too.
So DeRuy to take the free kick. Left centre wing for Carlton.
A little bit stiff there. He was really making an attempt, Mark Roberts. DeRuy looking for Kernahan there. Was that a push out? No, I think he stayed there. Here's a chance. Phillips to Gleeson. Gleeson put off balance as he kicked. Larkin goes down to mop up. Matty Larkin, plenty of time. No Carlton players in the near vicinity. Nice hand pass. This is Alistair Clarkson to centre wing. Beautiful kick. And he's found Scholl. He's been a great player since going to the wing. He's really lifted them. It was probably the best move of the day when they put Scholl out there. Here's Longmire. Pushing and shoving. Couldn't take the mark. Carlton get it out of defence through Reynolds. The mark was taken by Ratton. Ratton, oh, shocking kick. It's let North Melbourne in. Delina does the shepherding. Larkin takes it away with class. Larkin to Rock, and Rock should mark this, and he does it half forward, and he was legged. So it was a mark and a free kick all in one there. Now you have to kick from 46 or 47 metres, so difference of doubt because it's pretty sticky. Look at that bluey patch there. So not an easy kick coming up with a little rover, but gee, he's been good. He's got into the packs and he's tackled, and he's a tough little fella. He's kicked 2 goals as well, and that's not a bad-looking kick for his third. It was a touch right on the line, and the only man on the ground who could have touched that ball was Justin Madden, and he was standing there right, and that was a vital touch too. 13-14 to 13-4, so still the Roos lead by 10 points. But Carlton finding it difficult to score goals up the other end.
You can't see them scoring too many either, can you, at the moment? Sexton over the top of Staritsky. He's a right half back. Handles the target on centre wing. Edges out his opponent. Push out, says the umpire. Free kick North Melbourne. Shoulder take it.
Hasn't been done well.
After quarter time. Scholl's kick is a high one. Madden punches clear. Pickering off the ground. Madden gives the hand pass away. Reynolds get cannoned into by Crocker. And for a high tackle, he'll take the free kick. Reynolds in the back pocket. Time running out for Carlton. 12.25 minutes they've got left. 2 number 6s, Dorotich and Fairley. Bradley it was. Kick up towards centre wing. Clarkson, Phillips off the ground. Ratton, Gleeson, clear of Schwass. He'll have to be quick. He's not clear anymore. Backup support for North Melbourne comes from Steele, who farms out the hand pass. Glascott gets it back only to see Bassett on the end of it, and an excellent pass. Now can Carlton get going here? Kick up to half forward, full forward.
What a good mark.
Comes to Chandler.
Jeff Chandler, tremendous mark.
Larkin. Kicks out to the half-back line. There he is again. Scholl dragged off it by Hannah. Delina too high, surely. And much to the displeasure of Carlton supporters in that section of the ground, Carl Delina takes the free kick.
Yeah, he's had a pretty quiet day, Carl Delina.
Started well.
He did. But those marks taken by Chandler, they're the sort of thing that marks that win games for you. That's twice he's gone back and taken pressure marks in this last quarter, Jeff Chandler. Madden versus Gallagher. Really enjoyed it. Oh, look at Gallagher with the big left hand. Oh, Crocker went in very, very hard. It had to be a free kick because he cannoned straight into Phillips. And Bradley and Clarkson. And Clarkson's done pretty well on Bradley. Bradley, unbelievable in the first half. Here's Madden taking a great mark at half forward. He wants to give a hand pass. He does to Tarzan. Tarzan hooks it back in front of goal. Here's a chance for the Blues. A pack of players will fight for this one. Here's Larkin again. At the centre of the ground, German and Allison will try and combine. Oh, big punch away was by Brett Allison to centre wing. Anthony Rocker's there, but the Carlton player beat him to it. It's David Glascott. Oh, kick straight into the man coming towards him. Skoritsky. Crocker punches it on. Now Pickering looking for Rock. It's shuffled out. Carlton. Sexton. Oh, they're harassing them, North Melbourne. Good play. This is Skoritsky. Over the top is Larkin. Danger here for the Blues because Larkin kicks clear and looks for Longmire. Longmire front position. Punched away by Kernahan. Here's Reynolds. The quick kick. He's having a ball here, Matthew Larkin. And look at the kick, a 65-metre kick. Over the back is Crocker. He couldn't grab onto it. Oh, he grabs it again. Terrific play, Crocker. Here's Longmire trying to get in a hand pass. Brett Allison kicks a goal across the face and bounces it over the line. So they're throwing next to that behind post with North Melbourne leading by 10 points.
With 9 minutes remaining, 9.25 minutes in the match. So if North gets a goal here, Carlton's job will... It's going to be pretty hard. Rock, snapshot. Oh, one behind. It really must have been so very close. The goal umpire, I think, measured his decision before he put up the one finger.
Rock, 22 kicks on one hand pass, but gee, every kick he gets is a hard-earned ball, isn't it, Pete?
13-4 to 13-15 it is. 11 points, 2 straight kicks would win it for Carlton. Madden and Gallagher, and what a battle that's been, as Pete mentioned. Gleeson's quick kick up towards midfield. Again, it's a North Melbourne ball. Mark Roberts. Skoritsky, plenty of room to move left half forward. He's got in short, the pass is okay, and Rock again. Lovely through cut brigade down there. Kicks at goal, might even be a goal. Oh, touched right on the line again. So Rock is robbed by millimetres, I'd suggest.
A handy one though, because that makes the margin exactly 2 goals.
Blues need 2 goals to draw, therefore. Madden and Gallagher once more. Neither can take the mark. It's a North Melbourne one though through Wayne Schwass. Kicks out towards the half or full forward position, and Reynolds sees the ball safely over the boundary line with a good strong punch.
I should really have tried to mark that because he was in perfect position and they wanted out of bounds at this stage, but they need possession.
He didn't, I guess, know he was clear.
No, that's true.
But if North gets another point, Carlton's going to need 3 goals to win it. That might be difficult. Phillips's quick kick comes up towards the 50-metre line. A marking contest, unplayed. Dorotich goes off the ground. Could have been dangerous. Fotier. Maybe they can build on this. Bradley, Gleeson, 2 of their best players. Who have they got down there that's tall? Roberts punches the ball clear. Kernahan spins around. Can he get goal number 3? It's going close. Not close enough. Mark taken by Chandler. Under Roberts. And there was a free kick.
A bit tough.
Roberts can't believe it. Rowan Saws said there's the mark. What did you think?
Well,
too far away?
It's a little bit tough. It was paid for the throw and he attempted the hand pass.
Ben Hawker's stats.
So that could be vital in the context of this game.
He got a lot of those possessions in the first quarter, Ben Hawker. He had a stint on the bench. 40 metres out. I think he's missed. They're one behind. Now 2 straight kicks for goal can win it for Carlton. They've only got a few minutes left to get them.
Well, they've had a bit of luck, Carlton. 2 shots by North have been touched right on the goal line down the other end. This is Matty Larkin kicking long. That's the way they played at this stage of the game. A 70-metre kick. 2 players are fighting behind the play. Rui was one of them and Pickering was the other. Can't go forward to Ratton. They're fighting hard, the Blues. They'll absolutely pinch this if they win it. To half forward, Kernahan at the back. Here's Hawker. He's going to hook it back in front of goal. A chance for the Blues here as Dorotic comes from the back. North, great hand pass to Larkin. Gallagher kicks it clear. The centre wing, the race is on. Anthony Rock, beaten for it by Reynolds. Reynolds to Hannah. Can he control a good tackle on Hannah? Here's Scholl. Can't get his boot to it. Goes in again. Reynolds, well played. Oh, a beautiful smother this by Chandler. Geez, a great game of football to watch.
Under 6 minutes left. The Blues need 2 quick goals to pinch the match. Can they do it? Gallagher gets front position. Taps down. Sharp by Phillips. Oh, caught one high. Umpire says play on. Ratton tried for Fodia. Bad hand pass. And North will be able to get clear. Larkin. Staritsky. And then the mark taken by Crocker. He copped a pretty nasty knock in the 3rd quarter. He recovered well. Longmire, who hasn't had his right kicking boots on today, gets harassed. Rock, that could be the winning goal if it's there. It's one behind.
It's been a handy one, Pete, because the margin's now 2 straight goals.
So maybe a draw is the best Carlton could hope for. Just under 5 minutes left in this match. We thought Carlton was going to run away with it when they kicked 7-2 to 1-3 in the 1st quarter. Bassett will do the kicking in this time. Not a long kick. Gallagher, push out, says the umpire. Free kick Carlton. It's going to be taken by Justin Madden. Madden inside his own defensive 50-metre line. Kicks to, or hand passes to Glasgow. Kernahan at the back. Still inside the square. Malcolm Blight distance here at Princes Park. Will he go the torpedo? No, he won't. He's got Dorotic on a lead and Dorotic marks.
Well, don't tell me Carlton are going to get up and pinch this, though. If he kicks this, it'll only be a goal down. And North have been the better side since quarter time. No doubt in the world about that. If you look at the scoring shots, 13-17 to 13-5. I think that says something.
It does. But 4 1/4 minutes left, so there's plenty of time if Dorotic can kick this goal. Getting a footing's going to be the problem, Pete, too.
No, the patch he's going to kick from, not too bad there. It's a very green area, so he's got the better part up there on that forward line. There's a kick, Dorotic, and it's a goal. 6 points the margin, North lead.
When we got Ted's superannuation payout, we thought we were rich. Then we realised we had to make it last the rest of our lives. So we had a chat to our bank manager at Westpac. He made sure we got the right investment advice. We're nice and comfortable now. Can't understand why some people take big risks with their money.
You can bank on us. Take good care of my baby. Be just as kind as you can be. Just tell her that you love her. Make sure you're thinking of her.
BP Visco 2000 Plus, because your car is more than just a machine. BP, on the move.
Take good care.
The days are grey. The nights are long, so turn it on, oh turn it on, show me what you've got, turn it on, 'cause when you're hot, you're hot.
It took 2,000 years, but a revolutionary discovery is changing the way men think about colouring their grey hair. It's called Just for Men, from the leader in men's hair colouring. Simply apply Just for Men, and in 5 minutes, shampoo out. Your grey is blended away, leaving natural-looking colour. 5 minutes. Here. Look at me. Just for Men leaves your hair looking healthy and fuller, and it won't fade or wash out. At your local pharmacy.
Tonight, the conclusion to a marvellous miniseries.
It's not what the world holds for you, it's what you bring to it.
Anne braves a wealthy and tyrannical old woman to help her schoolgirl friend.
Who gave you permission to play that?
The famous picnic in the park, the prank that almost ends Anne's career. The triumph of the school play, romance with an older man.
I won't lose you, Anne Shirley.
And parting from a younger one.
Goodbye!
7 presents the final superb chapter from Anne of Green Gables, the sequel, tonight.
Peter Cameron bounces. Justin Madden captured the ground, plays charging after the chance for Carlton to come out with it. Verbeek took Lascott. Oh, North going in hard on the Carlton player who's lost part of his pants there. There's a great camera shot of Gleeson's backside as the ball's thrown up. Gallagher versus Madden. Madden's big fist. Oh, Larkin's been terrific when the pressure's been applied. There's Dean. Oh, he's punched it away, but it's allowed his opponent, Crocker, to come in and grab it. He can give it to Allison. Oh, he's ignored him, and he's gone long. Oh, he only had to chip pass it across to Brett Allison on his own. Could be costly. This is Reynolds. Reynolds to the half-back line. With time clock ticking down. Phillips close to the line. He's lying on top of it. Oh, he was a lucky man to get away with it.
Yes, very lucky. We've seen that played before this year, haven't we? 2 3/4 minutes left. North Melbourne by a goal. 14-5 to 30-17. Gallagher punches over the boundary line, suiting his side admirably. And so another throw-in to take place. And the Blues get the goal that they need. 89 to 95. A goal would tie it up. Gallagher taps down again. Rock. To Crocker. Into the forward pocket. Free kick Carlton, out of bounds on the full. Bassett to take it. Time running out for the Blues. You'll have to get it moving quickly. Just over 2 minutes remaining in this match. Madden at the back, tried to tap on. Phillips takes the hand pass. Now a chance for Verbeek. Verbeek at right centre wing. You've got to make something out of this. Kernahan had to beat 3 of them. Martin goes for the boundary line with the educated kick. The ball's not going to quite make it. Larkin puts the body in. Hammers down there as well for Carlton. No free kicks. They're pretty hard to earn. 1:43 left.
What's that? A goal of margin. And North probably deserved to win, but they're just hanging on by the skin of their teeth at the moment. The ball is thrown up by Peter Cameron. Players went early, Kernahan being one of them, and that was good play by Chandler to punch it to the line. And the North players on that back line will be desperately trying to man up. 1 minute and 20 seconds of play left, and Carlton need a goal to tie up the scores. There's a big fist away. Oh, great tackle on the Carlton player. Tarzan, and there's a Bradley at the bottom. Let's have a look when he gets up. It's Tarzan. Again, Peter Cameron throws the ball up. Punched away by Mick Martin, but straight to Hannah. Hannah hooks it back to half forward. Dorotich in front, slips over. And a great slips catch taken by Fairley. What a good mark that was.
Well, that was the one that Carlton had to take. Fairley, less than a minute remaining now. So the Blues have got to take a mark here and get it back quickly. Madden punches the ball to ground. Staritsky trying to gain possession. And I think he's done just as well as the ball is over the boundary line next to the interchange area. Half a minute to go. So I think time's beaten Carlton. Gallagher and Madden again. Staritsky. A quick kick goes to the boundary line, and that will just about do it, I think, for North Melbourne.
They'll take a miracle now. They've got 18 seconds to get the ball from centre wing to the goal square and tie up the scores.
I don't think they can do that, Pete. Madden taps down again. And North Melbourne closing it up. And that scrum will do it. And there's the siren. North has won a thriller at Princes Park by only 6 points.
Yes, just one kick in it at the end. Carlton 14-5-89. Beaten by North 13-17-95. For North, Rock, Crocker, German and Allison all kicked 2 goals. And for the Blues, Sartori kicked 4, Kernahan and Dorotich each kicked 3. 3 reports from the game. Peter Satori was reported for striking Mark Roberts, and Mark Roberts reported by 2 separate umpires for returning the favour to Peter Satori. Those cases to be heard next week. Crowd of 23,200 at Princes Park. More action coming up from the MCG and the terrific game between Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles after the break.
Come on, everybody. Here we go.
Take off on an animated adventure with stars of The Rescuers Down Under, Goofy flying solo, Donald Duck caught in a tailspin, Dumbo on his first training flight under, around and through the big top. And those rascals Chip and Dale. 6:30 Sunday, Uncle Toby's presents Come Fly with Disney on the magical world of Disney.
Hold it, Dad.
On these cold winter nights, is there anything better than getting the family together around a hot, so-saucing sponge pudding by White Wings?
When they've got white wings, Mom, they've got it made.
Perfect in ovens or microwaves.
There are 50 states in America, but some airlines can't fly you to anywhere near 50. Fact is, some airlines just fly you from Australia to the West Coast, then you're on your own. But one airline flies you to America in the world's newest aircraft.
Welcome to America.
Then on to more states than any other airline.
Welcome to United Friendly Skies.
Fly United and discover what's new in the friendly skies.
The huge savings of authentic Persian and Oriental carpets ever to be sold at custom-cleared cost prices is about to leave Victoria. If you thought you could never own an original Persian carpet, you owe it to yourself to check out these unbelievable prices for quality. Hariz Warehouse will open specially from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. this Saturday, Sunday and Monday for the last days before the end of financial year final stock take. Don't miss out on these savings at this genuine final stock take sale. There's only one location, Hariz, Ria 478 High Street, Paran, near Williams Road. Melbourne Big, everything you need in one book.
Now you can make pancakes like these in 4 minutes flat.
When they've got white wings, Mom, they've got it made.
Welcome back to AFL Live. Hope you're enjoying the football action. Well, tomorrow morning on Sports World between 9 and midday, Bruce McAvaney, the host of a wide range of sports. Bruce, what have you got coming up tomorrow? Now, I know we've had a big week. Now, you're going to talk boxing in the Jeff Fenwick saga, and a break-even Bill Morty?
Yes, Bill Morty's coming on. Good evening, Drew. How are you? Bill's coming on tomorrow morning. Jeff's virtually said to Bill, unless Bill cuts his ties with Don King, then Jeff will have not much to do with Bill Morty. So we'll talk to Bill about King, whether he thinks King had anything to do with the fight that Fenwick really looks as if he had cheated off him. Here he is right on top of Nelson in the 12th. So what's going to happen to Jeff? Will he continue to fight in Australia, not go back and fight for Don King, or will he make a compromise? At this stage, Drew, it certainly looks like Fenwick's future is in Australia, and if it's in America, it's without Don King. So I'm sure Bill Morty will have plenty to say tomorrow morning. I'm sure he will, and if he fights Jeff Fenwick at the MCG, there'll be a big crowd there. Now, it's Wimbledon time, of course, and John Alexander will be in. Yes, we're going to talk to John from London tomorrow. It'll be ladies' final in the morning, Graf or Sabatini, so we'll know exactly who'll win that. We'll have highlights of that match, and he'll preview the final, the all-German final between Becker and Stick. And we've got athletics coming in tomorrow morning from Oslo, and Simon Doyle running really well. He is, Drew. This is the Dream Mile. It's the biggest event of the year outside of a major championship. We've got the world champion running Abdi Bile. We've got the Commonwealth champion running Peter Elliott and Simon Doyle. No Australian has ever won the Dream Mile. He is the favourite, and he'll become the first Australian, I'm sure, tomorrow to break 3:50 for the mile. If there are any world records from that meet, we'll have that as well. And you'll be talking footy. Guy McKenna from the West Coast Eagles and Mal Meninga
Now, it was a terrific test match during the week, didn't go Australia's way. I thought you showed terrific courage to turn up at a rugby league match in a dinner suit.
Yeah, I got a raspberry from the crowd, didn't I, Drew? We've got Mal Meninga on. Of course, he's looking to go to England for a $500,000 contract, so he'll be talking about the rugby league test and also about maybe that move that he's making. And we've got a big football hour coming up with the panel, all the big marks and goals, and it should be terrific. And Kim will be along with an update with all the results from overseas. Looking forward to it.
On you, Bruce. Sports World tomorrow morning between 9 and midday. If you're sleeping, set the alarm for 1 minute to 9 with Bruce McAvaney. Right, now to our second game tonight and a match at the MCG between Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles. Well, Melbourne had a lot to prove after their disappointing performance in round 1 when they went over to Perth and kicked only 2 goals for the entire game and kicked just 1 behind to half-time in that match. But the MCG has traditionally been a graveyard for West Australian teams. The Eagles in 4 seasons had won there just once, and that was a night game against Richmond last year. So they were trying to create a bit of their own history today by being the first West Australian team ever to win a day match at the MCG, because through history, West Australian state teams had always failed to beat Victoria at the MCG. Well, let's have a look at the score to half-time, and it was an absolute crackerjack game. Just 1 point separated them at the long break. Melbourne 7-4-46 to the Eagles, 6 goals, 9-45. A terrific game, nothing in it, many changes of the lead. We pick it up at the opening bounce of the third quarter. Commentators, Dennis Cometti, Bruce McAvaney and Don Scott.
Start of the second half of the MCG. Melbourne and the West Coast Eagles. It's been a strong rivalry in recent seasons. Aishold appear to be held without it. No free. Lamb scrambles after it. Stretch over the ball and a whistle. Not a bad crowd now. I'd venture to say in excess of 30,000. Hard to tell, of course, with that construction going on around the outer side. Bounce. Steins and Irving off hands. It comes to Waterman. Hurried kick. Gains only about 15 metres. Kemp with courage. It falls to Waters. He's been clever all day. Got it to Langdon, who kicks inside the attacking 50. And Yates has done well back in defence.
Now, Yates is a loose man in the back line. West Coast have got all their players up around midfield.
Jay Viney gives it to Phoebe. Chips it out wide. Diving mark is taken out there by Flintoff. What a good mark it was. He's on centre wing.
Came off the interchange in the second quarter and had a few touches. Brett Lovett also came off interchange. And half forward, drop punt, looking for Djakovic, who's been the target. Geez, a good mark. It's an exciting player, isn't he?
Yep.
Well, that was a good effort also by Brett Lovett, because Brett's been really down in form. I was impressed the way that Brett went after the ball. He was responsible getting the ball here to Djakovic, who out in front, and Brennan just could not lay fist to ball.
Difficult man to man up. He's quick, but he takes a good mark. Leads well.
It's kick 5. 45 metres out, drop punt. It's kick 6. 8-4 to 6-9. And he's not all that tall either, Don. I mean, he's what, 5'11" or something like that in the old scale, 6 foot.
Well, he's deceptive because he is so big physically, Bruce. He's got enormous pace over the first couple of yards. He's about at 185. But see, he's 95 kilos, but, you know, he can get a few more kilos off. He can get down to about 90.
Would he be taller than Jason Dunstall, do you think?
I don't think so, but they're both very solidly built fellows. Height's deceptive when you're built like that.
Steins out of the middle this time. Down towards half forward. It's Melbourne by 7 points. This is Djakovic. Goes towards the outer side, and Kemp. One-handed attempt. Oh, brilliant mark eventually. Completed it into McIntosh, running down towards half forward. Not a particularly good kick. Sumich on the lead. Grabbed by Bryce and slung. Got the kick off. But Jay Viney takes the mark. Plays on immediately. Sends play back towards the outer side wing. Kemp and Flintoff. Flintoff grabbed by the leg. Did well. This is Howard on centre wing towards half forward. Heaver has taken the mark just outside the attacking 50. Brent Heaver, his first game for the season, played 10 last year.
John Howard's has run deep into that forward line. He's the back man and he's prepared to set up options.
Nobody is back. He centres the ball. Djakovic got hands to it. Completes the mark. Not paid. Well, that's a bit tough. Off the ground, Brennan. Gained about 10 metres. Lamb towards the outer side wing. Dyson leads back in the race. He'll need to be quick. Tried to shovel it out to support Jay Viney. Was it Howard? Any number. but it didn't go very far. It struck a leg and came back to him. Watch this again.
Two hands. He flicks it on. Has he got control? The umpire said no, and I've got to agree.
Yeah, I think he was
good
right.
effort.
Steins. Quick kick away. Almost the clever mark to Heaver, not paid. Lamb at close quarters sends Matera off. He runs through the middle and kicks towards half forward.
Sumic, the target, used his body pretty well. Yates, the spare man back there, just paddles it to the boundary line. Melbourne hanging on well here, 52 to 45. Graham Yates in his favourite role in the back pocket. He's only played half a dozen games this season.
Waterman seems to be the loose man. The runner's out with Waterman. He may go across and pick somebody up in that defence for Melbourne.
Well, free kick to Matera. Lewis going in to let Stretch know about it. He certainly made the most of it, Matera, but it did look a high tackle and when he didn't have possession. Stretch bundling him off, and West Coast got a goal through McIntosh in the second quarter through a free kick. But Melbourne with Djakovic earlier on. So Matera from about 35 metres, 30 metres out. Not all that difficult an angle. We really should kick it to put West Coast with a point. It's already kicked one goal today. Drop punt. And has he brought it back? It looks like he has. It's a goal. 7-9 to 8-4. Matera gets his second. West Coast back within a point.
Yes, it's interesting seeing what the West Coast are doing, how they've set their players up after half-time. We mentioned about Yates being the loose man in defence. He still is a loose man down there, but Waterman was told to go down and pick up Howard. But
the Demons by a point then, 52 to 51. Steins, Lamb couldn't control it. Jarred loose. Waters, ambitious handball wide of the congestion. That was about all. This is Todd Viney getting plenty of possessions this afternoon inside the 50 with the kicks. Spalding couldn't control it. Heaver had it, then lost it. Picked up by Djakovic. Hand passes out wide. Flintoff hard against the boundary line. David Flintoff in trouble, slips as he kicks. Gained about 20 metres. In front, Waterman played it well, knocked it away, then found it again on the ground.
Good play.
This is Waters. Got it across towards Lamb. Lamb boots it towards the outer side, and there's a relay free kick, or will it come back? He was pushed in the back.
It was against Bennett, but he did show terrific endeavour, Bennett. He's got tremendous acceleration over the first couple of yards.
Went from one man to the next. Lamb short pass to Waters, forward of centre wing. In the sunshine, Scott Waters, inside 50 with a kick. In front, Sumic, falls to Heady, feeds it across to support. Sumic goes goalward and hits the post. No, it's out of bounds on the full. Thought it hit the behind post. Big roar from the crowd who liked it anyway. Phoebe boots it back around the outer side. Irving uncontested, well, almost. A belated attempt by Steins.
It's hard to pick up the man who's loose for West Coast. I think it's Guy McKenna who's now gone into that hole, being picked up by Dyson. Well, they definitely are playing with one spare man up around midfield, West Coast.
55 metres out, Irving. Good looking kick. Gee, he's kicked that superbly. West Coast back in front. It's a wonderful kick. 8-9 to 8-4.
McEwen's Super Money Savers are here. With big savings on a pack of 4 Lockwood window locks, key to light for aluminium or timber windows, now just $34.50. A dead latch twin pack is a money saver at $97.90, and a single dead latch is just $48.95 in brown, chrome or white. A Lockwood patio bolt is down to $19.50. McEwen's Super Money Savers are products that can't be bought for less anywhere, saving you even more.
You can do it with McEwen's, 'cause we've got a million things.
Well, here are the results of your tests, Mr. McFarlane. I'm afraid you're in for a bit of a shock. Let's look at the left-hand side first. As you can see, both front and back are fine, but on the right-hand side, we have a problem.
Before we operate on your car's suspension, we put you in the picture. Pedder's full 28-point shocker and suspension check.
Well, Mr. McFarlane?
She's in your hands, Mr. Pedder.
He's given Australian tennis some of its highest and lowest moments. Pat Cash, putting the pieces together on his life both on and off the court. What's going wrong? Is it the end or can he come back? It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
This is the man who makes Kleenex tissues. All our tissue products are made from plantation wood grown on tree farms and from sawmill waste. To clean the wood, we're replacing chlorine with oxygen-based bleaching. To find out more, read the environmental update on our packaging.
New Sunsilk Leave-In Conditioning Mist. Spray it on wet hair. No need to rinse, no waiting around. Or spray it on dry hair during the day for continuous conditioning. Sunsilk Leave-In Conditioning Mist, enriched with keratin and provitamin B5. Use it when and where you need it most for simply beautiful hair. It's a radical new way to condition your hair. With Sunsilk, your hair is in expert hands.
On Monday, barring earthquakes and tidal waves, Oscar winner Jeremy Irons and the preschoolers' sex symbol Naomi Hazelhurst. What a night, what a show tonight live.
What's wrong with Australia? Not as much as people think. Economically, we're in a mess, but the basic Australian spirit for working, especially small business people, is massive. And that's what will turn the country around.
So West Coast, after trailing by 7 points, back in front. A couple of goals, one to Matera, one to Irving. Out of the centre, Todd Viney to half forward, Bennett and Lockyer. Lockyer's tackle good, holding the ball. Will come back.
The runner, Robert Wiley, out with Guy McKenna giving him instructions.
What a short. And Lockyer finds him. Langdon running and also Irving. So Irving loose. Rowe tried to smother. Kick towards Will Yates. Mistimed it badly. Jay Viney gets back. Wilson tries to put the pressure on. Loose ball here. Pressure on Melbourne. Howard has to throw it away in the end. Jay Viney's left-handed handball okay to Eichhold from the back pocket to centre wing. The kick to Rode, who takes a very good mark in the circumstances. Can come inside, decides not to. Goes towards Spalding at half forward. In the front spot, takes a chest mark, playing his 100. Quickly plays on. Flintoff's kick. Jakovic and Brennan. And well played that time by Brennan. It's been one of the most interesting duels of the day. You've got to say Jakovic well on top with 6 goals. Brennan's had some moments, but Jakovic has been most effective.
Ball thrown in. Bennett and Irving. Bennett won it down. This is Spalding, 25 metres out, snaps right across the face. Out of bounds in the opposite pocket. Eagles lead by 5 points, 8-5 to 8-4. Here's Brennan.
Now McKenna's getting by himself, trying to set up an option.
Missed kick by Brennan, back towards centre half back. Lamb and Bennett. Bennett did well. Got it across to Dyson. Going back though is Lockyer, and he juggles it across the line.
Beavers coming off for Melbourne. Cuthbertson on.
Brennan to kick it in. Just over 17 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. 4 points the difference. Waterman robbed of the ball brilliantly by Lovett. To Viney, open goal. To 8-9, seesawing affair at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
That one had hurt earlier by Irving, and I reckon that one had hurt the West Coast just as much as what Irving says. Here it is. Just couldn't control it. Just too high, and Lovett coming in, mops up the mistakes, and an easy goal. What finished up being an easy goal for Melbourne.
2 goals to Viney, 59 to 57. Irving, tapped on by Stretch, looks for a free kick, gets it.
I think Peter Wilson might want to come off too. I think he did a hamstring down there on the forward line a few moments ago.
We'll watch for that. Here's Stephen Stretch from centre wing.
drop punt. He is a good kick normally. That one's a long one. Djakovic sets himself the sporting ops. Left foot snap. And it'll roll out.
See the value of Spalding on that occasion. The way he just throws himself at the ball. He's always going to keep his hands on the ball. If he doesn't take it, it's going to come to ground, and Ops in the right position on that occasion.
Now Spalding again over the top. Good tackle on Djakovic by Ops, and then Spalding going in strongly at the end. So Melbourne continuing to pressurise and keep the pressure on this team that has been the trendsetter all season, West Coast. And they set up their #1 position by thrashing Melbourne in the opening game. Here's Djakovic. That time not so good. Gave it away in a hurry, Waters, but Djakovic tries to put the pressure on. And that was very poor play by Djakovic.
Very crude, and Waters gives him one on the one through.
So West Coast from half back, and the kick finds Hart.
David Hart, right half back, through centre wing. McIntosh flies from behind. Strong mark.
He's a good player, will be a good player too.
McIntosh kicks inside the attacking 50, intended for Sumic. Bryce fisting away, missed by Yates. Bryce goes off the ground. Steins to Phoebe. Phoebe from left half back towards centre wing. Howard outmanoeuvred by McIntosh again. Fine mark by the youngster. To Hart. Hart kicks towards centre half forward. Turley's the target. Through his hands. Todd Viney keeps it in front. He's outnumbered. Matera with the pace. Matera midway between half forward and centre wing. Settles. Kicks down towards the pocket. And the mark is held by Sumic this time.
Good play by Matera, wasn't it? He had to wait. Very few options, and then the kick was very good.
Almost demanded the lead. Plenty of poise there. Here's Peter Matera. And there's Peter Sumic. Came up together at South Fremantle, combining well there. Just over 14 minutes remaining till three-quarter time. This for the Eagles to regain the lead. They trail by 2 points at the moment. It's bending back. Gee, that's close. It's a goal. Ooh.
Well,
9-9 to 9-5, and that was very close.
He does it well, doesn't he, Sumic? In as much as he allows for that vicious hook that he has got. He starts the ball left, brings it back to the right. And a good kick, his third goal.
(63 to 59). So the lead has changed hands again. Steins, Spalding did well onto his left foot. Djakovic in a good position, or Bennett I should say, in a good position, and takes a blended mark against Lockyer, who might have got a hand to it.
Good use of the body, Bruce. There was good use of the body. He held his ground. Although Lockyer in front, you could see there how Bennett just held him out with the elbow for that fraction of the forearm, then dropped back and took an easy mark.
Yet to kick a goal, and this from 30 metres out to put Melbourne back in front.
Northcote is my patch. My family was my security. My home, my anchor.
To protect your home and possessions with the right insurance, read SIO's free buying guide. It explains new for old replacement of contents regardless of age, plus SIO's multi-event option, which offers extended cover on personal belongings.
They're worth protecting. With the right insurance from SIO.
We're here for you, we're family too, we're SIO.
SIO for all your insurance needs.
In the past, if you didn't have a job, unemployment benefits were a kind of safety net. But the New Start program that replaces unemployment benefits from July 1st provides a better way. No one gets paid to be out of work. They get paid to look for work or to improve their work skills. And there's a whole new system of support with individual advice, new training options, and a helping hand to grab the right opportunity when it comes along. We're all concerned about unemployment. New Start is a fairer, more positive approach for everyone. New Start, a way up.
The new model Holdens are coming, and in Holden dealerships right across Australia, they're having their first ever all-model run-out. Prices are smashed on every run-out model. New Holdens from only $12,990. Commodore Australia's #1 passenger car. The 4-cylinder Nova. The economical little Marina. And the family-sized Apollo. It's on now, Holden's first ever all-model run-out. Don't you miss out.
You must really love garlic bread.
Oh, sure, don't you?
Yeah, but not on my bread.
Oh, don't worry about that.
After you eat, have some PK. PK has that clean, fresh taste. And a freshness burst that refreshes your breath.
PK has a freshness burst that refreshes your breath. PK. The only way is up.
For full details on the New Start program that replaces unemployment benefits, pick up this booklet at your CES or Social Security office. New Start, a way up.
The only way is up.
Who? Framed. Roger. Rabbit.
Going up here.
Was it the evil cop?
He's here.
The sultry singer. Or the fearsome ferrets. Live the danger. The excitement. The emotion. When Toyota presents, for the first fantastic time on television, Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Sunday.
There were 6 changes of the lead in the third quarter, and Melbourne went into the last change leading by just 4 points, 11-8 to 10-10. At the start of the final quarter, it was pretty low scoring in the opening minutes. Both sides have added a point, and Melbourne still lead by 4 with 20 minutes left.
Michael Brennan shielding his eyes against the sun. Members side with a kick, not a particularly good one. It favoured Stretch, who should have done better. Steins roving the pack. He's a remarkable player, Jim Steins. This is Dyson, 55 metres out. Jakovic favoured by the kick. Brennan closed him down. Kemp in the pocket. Jakovic in pursuit. Kick around the outer side. Matera appear to be held a couple of times. Still they go. Well done by Flintoff eventually, and the ball goes out of bounds.
Good contest, wasn't it? Oh, listen, this game is a great game of football. The endeavour from both sides. It's hard to pick a winner.
Well, West Coast has been involved in so few close matches all season. Melbourne's been beaten by a goal twice. Here's Tingay. Across the face. Jakovic can take this and does. Pretty important kick, this one.
Earl Spalding holding up his hand to Jakovic, telling him to steady down, go back and take his kick. There's a great camera shot.
He's mercurial, Don. He can kick this. He's got the class to do it. Misses. Bit disappointed. So Melbourne 11-9, 11-10, 10-11. So saying West Coast involved in very few close matches. They beat Essendon by 7 points in round 8 and lost to Carlton by 3 points in round 14. Here's Brennan.
Straight down the middle. Lockyer hooked it behind. Here's that man again, Steins, but he gives it away this time. Lamb to Waters, who kicks towards half forward. Heady in front. Obst fisting away. Phoebe was held. No free kick. Turley's got it. Still it's Turley. McIntosh knocks it on. Down goes Pike. Jay Viney was in there. Picked up eventually by Yates. We've liked his game in the back pocket towards the outer side. Todd Viney, sweeping hand pass. Intercepted though. Kemp goes against the flow and finds Lewis. Pulsating game, this one now. Total commitment. Langdon wants it long.
And wants it quickly.
Gets neither. The short one. Langdon on the lead.
Good kick, good lead, good play.
They fooled us, Don.
I think they fooled themselves. Langdon wanted it down quickly, but Lewis was going back looking for the long bomb. And Langdon was signalling frantically in the goal square to kick it long.
A brace of cunning eagles. Here's Langdon, 35 metres out, directly in front. Kick is on its way, and he's missed. He's pulled it right. Melbourne by 4 points.
Well, Lewis will be disappointed. The kick was spot on. Now Bryce. Steins and Stretch. Stretch takes this one. They've switched wings with Stretch, taken him kept him on this side off Matera. Spalding may have got a free kick. Hart uses Lamb in trouble because he's got no right leg. Viney run down. Lovett mix up for Melbourne. They can't get it out. Bennett, West Coast, a bit lucky there, able to hold it up.
And Tingay's hurt. He's up on his feet now, but Tingay was the one instrumental in getting the ball away from Lamb. Smothered it. There he is on screen. He's limping. But it was a good effort by Tingay. He risked himself.
Well, there are going to be a lot of sore bodies tomorrow. Both sides. Pike just around the body. Hetty and Obst. Obst has been quite wonderful today. Their stretch. Poor kick. Very ordinary kick to Irving.
Oh, well done.
Yes.
Actually, it was bad play by the Melbourne fellows up the ground because all Stretch had was a sea of West Coast Eagles to kick it to. And it was a good effort by Viney to dispose Irving of the ball.
Gee, goals are hard to get in this last quarter. We haven't had one yet. We've been playing almost 10 minutes. Kemp with a little one.
Well done, Obst.
Well, he's growing and growing and growing as the match goes on, isn't he?
He ran at that really aggressively, didn't he? Oh, Brett. He's getting a bit frustrated, Brett Hetty now.
Demons by 4 points. Kemp in trouble. Todd Viney shoveled out of it. Waterman to Kemp. He goes over the top. Irving running out of space. Obst again, kept it in front. Oh, great courage into the feet of the oncoming Hart. Well, courage is the key, no doubt there. It's the exception, not the rule. They go in again. Obst, was he held without it? Play goes on. It's thumped out of there. Hart gets it to Lamb, who kicks it down towards half forward. Well done by Howard. Comes away from half back and finds Tingay.
Too slow. Yes. Matera ran him down, lack of talking or something. Lovett caught.
Too long.
Should have gone for holding the ball. Played Matera. Wonderfully done. Now Turley from Lamb. He can make Melbourne pay for this with a chip pass to Lewis. But
well
it didn't quite get there. Well, he's a superb player, is Steins.
And back in the centre of the ground, in the hard cricket pitch, Matera just getting up onto his feet. He was dispossessed and thrown to that heavy turf.
Rice's kick not good. Turley, who's had one of his quieter games, takes the mark. 8 and 15, Turley. So he has had 23 touches. The kick to the pocket to McIntosh. It's a good one. Too far out. Short to Sumic. Sets him up. Steins. Oh, well played.
Well done.
To Bryce. Handball not good. Waters. And he's put it through. Nope. Was it a Langdon mark? Behind. Hit the post.
Gee, that was a bad hand pass from Bryce. It was a real hot ball on Bryce. Got it off as quickly as he could to Yates and really didn't give him a chance.
Don, I reckon at least 10 times today the Melbourne handball has been much too hard to a player only 4 or 5 metres away.
Road kicks in down the middle. In from the side. Strong mark to Howard. The target was, I think, Steins, and why not? Untidy handball again. Phoebe in trouble. Kemp did well to rob him of the ball. Little chip pass inside the 50. Sumic must get a free kick.
Well, I suppose he was going to take the mark. It was a crude effort. It was about all Bryce could do, but he shouldn't have been so far behind. Bryce, look at that.
Well, I don't suppose, in fairness to Bryce, he expected it to be turned over in midfield as it was.
And Tingay's off the ground, and Cuthbertson coming on. It's a pity for Tingay because, again, he showed a lot of endeavour on that wing. I wonder whether he's injured.
Sumic, who's kicked 3 goals this afternoon. And this one from just inside the 50. Melbourne lead by 3 points. Sumic is true. So the West Coast Eagles are back in front. 79 to 76.
The Mitsubishi Lancer was designed and built in Japan. 3 times it has been voted the most reliable small car by the Germans. But perhaps it is when driving in a vast country like Australia that the Lancer's superior qualities can best be appreciated. The Mitsubishi Lancer. Please consider.
just as kind as you can be. Just tell her that you love her. Make sure you're thinking of
BP
her.
Visco 2000 Plus, because your car is more than just a machine. BP, on the move.
Take good care.
He's given Australian tennis some of its highest and lowest moments. Pat Cash, putting the pieces together on his lifeboat on and off the court. What's going wrong? Is it the end or can he come back? It all makes sense in the Sunday age.
Oh, this sore throat hurts. Oh no, don't swallow, don't swallow! That hurts. Oh, what's he got now? Oh, Strepsils, anaesthetic throat spray. That's new. Oh, anaesthetics penetrating the nerve endings. Pain's going. Strepsils quick, doesn't even hurt to swallow. Think we feel like lunch.
New Strepsils anaesthetic throat spray relieves pain fast.
New Sun Pro Vitamin B5. Use it when and where you need it most for simply beautiful hair. It's a radically new way to condition your hair. With Sunsilk, your hair is in expert hands.
A brilliant week of home and away ahead.
You got no idea what you're in for, do you?
One of them has to go.
I reckon I'm going to enjoy having this room all to myself.
Which one takes the big jump?
Let's go up and do it.
And will Heartbreak be revisited?
I'm here to see if you would like to have Sam back.
5,000 cash to win Monday. Details on Arnott's Big Grab Packs.
This team of golfing greats tees up a playoff with the Seekers on Celebrity Family Feud. Then see these stars at play on Celebrity Wheel of Fortune from 7:30 tonight.
Oh, this is off the play. Bryce and Sumic.
You don't turn your back on it, Paul.
Tell you what was interesting a moment ago. They're going to bounce it and go on. Steins really got stuck into to Bryce himself, and Steins does it superbly well to Bennett. The left foot to the space. Hart with the run of it.
Obston Heady at it at centre-half forward.
Kick round the body to Langdon. Chip pass is okay to Lamb. He'll swing onto his left. It's on his wrong side at the moment. Then the little one to Heady.
Well done.
Mark paid, and so it should be. He controlled it. Obston just late that time. Lewis wants it in the square. Heady goes short to Sumic and gets him.
He could bring this back. He's well within kicking distance, Sumic.
It's not a bad position for him, is it, Tom? In the pocket.
Well, he favours it left to right. On the other side of the ground, I think he'd be in all sorts of trouble. But he would bring this ball back, as I said earlier, starting at left and bringing it back to the right.
And would give West Coast a little cushion here if he goes. They lead by 3 points. Kick from about 45 metres out. Drop punchy. That's a good goal, isn't it? Oh. Never going to miss. 5 goals to Sumic, and suddenly West Coast pinch a break at 12-13 to 11-10.
Well, it turned out to be good play by Dwayne Lamb. Here's Lamb got it across to Heady, and then Heady went shorter and found Sumic, and that is a magnificent kick for goal.
Sumic has 5 goals, and the Eagles have skipped away to a handy lead. Lamb hasn't had a good day. Off the ground by Jakovic, down towards half forward. Obst stands tall, sends play back towards the wing, but only as far as Kemp. Kemp settles, kicks for Turley. Eichel comes over the top and gets it out of bounds.
Now that wasn't good play then, because Heady was by himself in front, and Turley really didn't set it up well then. That was bad play by Kemp, because he could have done more with the ball.
Eagles by 9 points. Down goes Steins, taken over the shoulder. He'll get the free kick. Number 11, Jim Steins, lays it off. He has figured this afternoon that Bob Skilton would be proud of. 29 possessions on centre wing. Fisted away by the defence, but as far as Eichel boots it in towards left half forward. Back goes McKenna.
Short to Hart. Get the feeling, Don, that the Eagle runners are a bit fresher than the Melbourne ones at the moment.
Well, when a team's playing confidently, your numbers start springing up as they're doing. Look, McKenna, Kemp, they're all, look at the number there. There's Lockyer out there providing options. Then there's Matera. It doesn't look good for Melbourne.
Matera from the centre square with a thumping kick. Steins in a good position. And does it again.
Did it well.
Gee, he's standing tall today, isn't he? He's got two players to his right. And he'll probably go short to Lovett, and he does. Yates could be set up here. They're trying to make some space. Now Lovett. Lewis puts a bit of late pressure on him. The kick to the centre wing. Cuthbertson not tall enough there for Jakovic. And Melbourne breaking down at half-forward in this quarter, remembering they haven't kicked a goal in this final term. The kick to centre half-forward. Well read by Hetty. Left foot round the body. Rode was able to cut it off. The handball was good. Here's Phoebe. Sells a dummy. Gains of an extra 5 metres. Kicks it to centre wing, but to nobody. And Kemp, no free kick paid. McKenna does the mopping up. Handball good to Waters.
Waters down towards half-forward. He's looking for McIntosh with the kick. McIntosh almost goes back after it. Great desperation in there by Jay Viney. He emerges with the ball, stretched cleverly. This is Yates once more. Chips it around the corner. It hangs in the air for what must have seemed an eternity for Dyson, but he took a good mark. Can Melbourne come back? Dyson towards centre wing. Todd Viney in from this side. Got hands to it, couldn't hang on. Jakovic growing in stature to Lamb to Kemp. Kemp inside the attacking 50. McIntosh.
There was better use of the ball by Kemp on that occasion.
Now McIntosh much closer to goal than Sumic when Sumic kicked the last one. Still, it'll take a good kick from here. He'll kick from right on the 50. It was a marvellous effort by Sumic to post his fifth. Spalding coming off the ground. And Heaver coming back on. They need some run. McIntosh goes goalward. It's bending back. Has it got the carry? Not quite. 3 Melbourne players up and they force it behind.
12, 14, 11, 10. Andrew Obbs to... if Jim Steins wasn't out there, it would be Melbourne's best today. But Steins has been a towering figure. Good take by Kemp to Hart. And another very good kick by an Eagle. Langdon. With that bounce, well played though by Jay Viney. He's got some time, can take the bounce. Obbs will provide a bit of a shepherd. Kick is a good one. Flintoff under pressure. Going to ground was Heaver. Jay Viney to Flintoff. They're really making hard work of it, Melbourne. Heavy work of it. Quick kick by Viney. It's eluded a number of players. Ended up with Todd Viney, who's got very tired, I reckon, in the last 20 minutes or so. The handball by Dyson was symbolic of what Melbourne has done for much of the day, and that's give up the footy. Waters with a high one to centre half forward. Rode at the back of Langdon. Sumic. Well done in the end to Lamb. Lamb, kick off target. Oh, good mark.
Mark.
Gee, I would have paid that. McIntosh, because McIntosh did have hold of one arm. McIntosh round the body with a high one. Hetty outnumbered, comes in from the side. Now Yates, who's been good, has played well, and thumps it back to the centre.
Stein's got a timely fist on it to knock it away, but once more the Eagles, as they're doing with monotonous regularity in the last 10 minutes or so, work it forward again. This is Waters to right half forward and Hetty. Well, a real testing time for the D's here. They've got to weather this storm, then come back for one final counter result.
There's a hole there. There's a hole. Someone's got to fill it up.
Hetty will kick from just outside the 50 to the kickoff line. Big pack, off hands. Matera somehow made some space. Lewis goes off the ground, and that could clinch it.
Today's game is part of the Carlton and United Breweries 1991 AFL Premiership season.
Well, that was the clincher, and in such a close game, in the last quarter, Melbourne didn't get a goal, and the Eagles added 4 to run out winners by 24 points. For the Eagles, Sumic kicked 5 goals, Lewis and Matera and McIntosh each kicked 2, and for Melbourne, Jakovic 6 and Todd Viney kicked 2. To the other games, and Hawthorn made up for the drubbing they got from Adelaide earlier in the season by giving them a hiding, 23-20 to 14 goals 11. Hudson kicked 4, Brereton and Dunstall each kicked 3, and for the Crows, Jamieson kicked 4 and Hart kicked 3 goals. And Collingwood came from behind to defeat Footscray. Similar sort of game to the match they played in round 1 when Footscray had a big lead early and the Pies overran them. Collingwood 20-13, Footscray 13 goals 3. For Collingwood, Dacos kicked 4 goals, and for Footscray, Royal kicked 6 and Hawkins kicked 3.
Time now to check the CUB AFL 1991 Premiership Season League ladder.
Well, the Eagles just carry on their winning way and they lead by 5 games at the top. 56 next best, Geelong 36, but of course the Cats are playing tomorrow. Some moves just outside the 6. Well, North Melbourne have consolidated in 6th place. Collingwood have moved up a few places ahead of Carlton and Melbourne, and fancy the Pies being ahead of the Blues. That will be sweet for them tonight. That's the way the league ladder looks at the moment. More coming up on the replay tonight, and we'll be crossing to Scotty Palmer with all the news from the dressing room.
Championship quarter, the 3rd quarter here at Cardinia Park. Geelong lead by 11 points in a tight encounter. Both sides have had their chance in front of goal and both have frittered them away. Couch loses it. Steve Hocking runs with it. Long could have been held, tries to paddle it out to Madden. Manning, he looks for someone. Somerville. Hocking a good tackle. Hinkley ripped off the football. Couch at the bottom, threads a hand pass out, but it goes straight to Bomber Thompson. Swings round onto the left foot. Buick almost held it. Clever pickup by Trevor Poole. Gets it away to Wills, and he kicks over the centre. Anthony Danaher. Back towards Wills again. In front is Hocking. Centering kick, and not really a good one. Hills leads in the race for the football. With him is Simpson. Simpson has the better of that encounter. Back to the middle again. Spawn and Bairstow are bold. Forsman. Floating kick towards Ablett. In front. Couldn't take it. Merriman. Centres once more. And Hocking takes the mark. He has kicked 3. Gary Hocking. And this will, if he is successful, give us the greatest margin in this game today.
And a good centering kick there from Russell Merriman. The two players there bustling each other were Terry Danaher and Tim Darcy.
It's going short. Oh, loose checking by the Essendon defenders.
And it's Chris Danaher's man, I think. Terry Danaher standing on the mark, but he sent Chris back to cover Tim Darcy.
Merriman was the one, Bernie said, who pulled that ball back. Now he's got the shot 30 metres out, directly in front. The Cats would love this. I think he snuck it home. He has. So Geelong moved to 7-8, leading Essendon 4-9.
It's a good start by Geelong into the breeze. And the wind looks as though it may have strengthened a little bit at the start of this 3rd quarter. Loose checking. There's the man, Chris Danaher, was the player that should have been picking up Russell Merriman. We just expected Hocking to have a shot at goal.
Geelong by 17 points. The Bombers need the next goal. Burke got it down off the ground by Essendon. It came out from McMullen. Philandia leads in the race. Still he goes. He's got plenty of toe. Worried by abuse. Goes looking for Watson. Awkward half volley for him. Thompson's got it now. Back to Watson against the boundary line. Kicks towards the kick-off line. It's drifting goalward. Great mark is taken by Manning.
Yeah, great mark, or as you called it, Dennis, but...
great kick by Watson.
Yes, it was. A couple of good kicks there. Philandia also caught up hard against the boundary line. Did well to keep it in play.
Andrew Manning, point-blank range. Gets the quick reply.
Hello again. Hope you can stay with us for 7 Nightly News tonight. The rape of a 26-year-old East Gippsland mother of 2 in St Kilda. She says she was also injected with an AIDS-contaminated needle. The push by 100 prominent Australians to make our country a republic. A rematch between Jeff Fennick and Azuma Nelson set for Melbourne in December, and a Tigers player sinks one of the longest goals in NBL history. The details at 6, right after the football.
Nobody knows news like 7.
What makes the Magna a real winner is that it's a totally integrated engineering package that works well, looks good, is relaxing to drive, and is sensibly priced. You can't ask for more. The car has all the inherent style, the dynamic sophistication, and the package size commands the success it so richly deserves.
Northcote is my patch. My family was my security. My home, my anchor.
To protect your home and possessions with the right insurance, read SIO's free buying guide. It explains new for old replacement of contents regardless of age, plus SIO's multi-event option, which offers extended cover on personal belongings.
They're worth protecting. With the right insurance from SIO.
We're here for you, we're family too, we're SIO.
SIO for all your insurance needs.
Every single Formula One Grand Prix for the past 4 seasons was won on Goodyear Eagles. This year, the most advanced road tire carries the same name. Revolutionary Goodyear Eagle GA for smoother ride, longer mileage, and proven grip. Goodyear. We are racing to bring you a better tire.
How many lounges do you see in this ad? Just one. But by mixing and matching bases, backs and arms, you can make it any suite you want it to be. And for more than 10 years, we've been supplying the latest washable designer covers. And now, the luxury of leather or the look of casual cane. And a sofa bed, a brilliant idea. Just like our coffee table that converts to a dining table. Furniture that never goes out of fashion. From Innovator.
What are you doing, Mr. Franklin?
I'm looking for the key to the universe.
What did you find, Mr. Franklin?
Ultra keys, boy. 3 times lighter than conventional keys, just as strong, and 8 colors. So you know which key fits which lock.
Arthur Franklin found the power that is Ultra Keys. Now at hardware stores and key cutters.
Could be considered relatively quiet for him. He's had 8 kicks. That's going desperately close to Darcy. If he can recover, he can't. Danaher's there. Oh, Hocking missed it. May get another chance, but it had gone through already for 1 behind. So frantic work in the goal square, but it results in just the 1 point for the Cats. Danaher again to the outer side. Madden the fly, Buick waits down. Izard will be first to it. Flicks it out to Chris Danaher. I think the crowd thought it was exactly that, a flick. Manning takes it on the defensive side of centre. Heads towards Philandia. Over the top it goes. Watson is at the back. Does some heavy work, but it's Rogers, his opponent, who sneaks away with the football. Wide to the wing. Wills, a good diving mark. He's up from half back, told to play on, kicks towards half forward. Burke, off hands, waiting behind Izard, back towards centre half forward. Hinkley played pretty well today, having a good season. Just up from centre half back, close to the man on the mark, then runs around Somerville, runs to the centre.
That'll be a kick up the field, Dennis, against Somerville, against the man who was shepherding. And I think that was Wills. Yes. Unnecessary rough play there by Somerville.
So Mansfield has it. Goes short. Not a very good kick, but effective. It was intended for Stoneham. Found Darcy. Darcy, almost directly in front, will kick from on the 50. It'll take a very good kick from here. Working into a slight breeze. That is a good kick. Hasn't got the carry, not quite. They contest about 5 metres out, off hands. And a rushed behind. The 10th behind for Geelong. They move to 7-10. Essendon a 5-9. Again, we go to the outer side. McMullen around Burke. There's a somewhat tentative bounce. Then kicks up towards the wing. Somerville got up high and was then pushed over the pack. Long beaten for it by Steve Hocking. They pounce upon it. Darcy asks the question, and the umpire says that he will take control. Essendon have added just the 1 goal to date in this 3rd quarter. Buick loses the run. Hughes has it. Sneaks away from Philandia. Oh, lovely little sidestep. Centering kick. He wanted Wills. Just wasn't quite high enough. But Wills recovers beautifully. Now to Steve Hocking.
to half forward. Burke. Ablett gives him the lead. Ablett's in front. Kick it intercepts. Mansfield gets Clone, tries to paddle it on. Could have almost been a leg. Merriman over the top to Ablett.